What's going on, fam? I just wanted to come to you guys. Listen, I decided I'm gonna kind of do a 2 video series, probably for most of what I do. The first one's just gonna be me talking, just kicking it with y'all. The other one's gonna be technical. Um, so with this one, I'm coming to you guys really about the main reason why I started to fast, and the most important reason why everybody needs to be fasting is a disorder called hyperinsulinemia, where basically you have too much insulin floating throughout your blood and in your body on a consistent basis. Insulin is spiked every time you consume food. That's the only way that you decrease insulin is by not eating. So I started you guys out with a 24-hour fast to show and prove to people, to you guys, that you can do it. Because a lot of times people will be like, I can't not eat. But really, I want you to transition it to doing intermittent fasting, where you're fasting every day for 14 to 16 hours a day. So if you stop eating at 8 o'clock at night, you won't eat again till about 12 o'clock the next day. That'll give you 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That'll give you 16 hours, okay? Which is excellent. If you want to end it at 10, you smooth as well. But I need you to put that gap in between those 2 meals, that your last meal and your first meal. I want that gap to be between 14 and 16 hours. Why? Because during that gap, it allows your insulin level to go down. That fast additionally allows you to become more sensitive to insulin. When you have hyperinsulinemia, it's destroying your arteries. So you have atherosclerosis going on inside of your body, which is the hardening of your arteries. Then you have calcium buildup. And where do you have arteries at, ladies and gentlemen? Everywhere throughout your body. So it causes blindness, dementia, Alzheimer's, heart disease, liver disease, kidney disease, diabetes. You hear hyper. When you become insulin resistant, that is a precursor to hyperinsulinemia. Why do I say that? Because over time, because your insulin level is so high that your body becomes resistant to the insulin, or it does not receive it, or it's not readily pushed into your cells like it normally would be. Your cells down regulate and it becomes resistant to the insulin that your body is producing to bring your sugar down. So what happens is, literally, ladies and gentlemen, you can go take a test, fasting glucose test, and it be normal. Your glucose is normal, but your insulin is high. You can take what's called a glucose tolerance test. The glucose tolerance test is when you drink some sugar water, and then they test your blood sugar over a 5-hour window, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they want to see the response. So you can have a normal glucose tolerance test, which means your blood sugar looks normal, but your insulin is sky high to keep the blood glucose low. And 70% or more of people who have a normal glucose tolerance test will actually have hyperinsulinemia. And remember, insulin is the problem. Insulin causes you to store that body fat around your stomach. It causes visceral fat. It causes the heart disease. It causes the blindness, the diabetes, the cancer. Is even being linked to cancer. So, ladies and gentlemen, the most important reason why we all need to be fasting is to bring our insulin levels down, to keep and to become more, help our body become more sensitive to insulin, so we won't have those large spikes when we do eat. Remember, the 24-hour to 36-hour fast, one of its benefits is that you become sensitive to insulin over the next 2 days, up to 2 days after your fast. So if you fast for 24 hours, it can benefit you up to 2 days after that. But remember, I want you guys to transition into a fasting lifestyle, because what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're killing ourselves and we don't know it. So if you go get that glucose tolerance test and it's normal, 70% of you still got hyperinsulinemia. And there's certain things, if your stomach is big, if you got a high blood pressure, if you got high triglycerides and low HDL, these are all signs of metabolic disorder, and all of these issues will really indicate that you have hyperinsulinemia. So These tests are not being done. It's called a glucose insulin tolerance test. And it was a doctor who did this research. He researched on 45,000 patients, and he tested both at the same time. He tested their glucose and their insulin at the same time. And he saw these patterns where almost over 75% of the people who had a normal glucose tolerance test had sky high insulin. So the insulin was jumping sky high to keep their sugar down. So literally, ladies and gentlemen, you can be a diabetic or have hyperinsulinemia where all of this damage is being going on inside of your body for 10 years before your blood glucose jump up to the point where they say you're a diabetic. So literally, that's why people will walk around here and they seem like they're healthy or normal and they'll die of a heart attack because they've been walking around with hyperinsulinemia, with high insulin in their blood without even knowing it. And one way I can identify, ladies and gentlemen, if your waist is bigger than 40, ladies, if your waist is bigger than 35, you probably are carrying around a lot of insulin in your blood on a daily basis. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a game. It's not a game for me. That's why I started this journey for myself. But I love y'all. And I don't want to live a long, healthy life without my people coming along with me. It's nothing like having to go to the hospital and be by the bedside of your family members when they're sick, especially when it's something that could have been avoided. Diabetes is curable if you change your lifestyle. Heart disease is reversible. Most of these conditions that we deal with are reversible if we change our lifestyle. So we need to fast. And that's why the name of my YouTube page is Fast First. I want us to fast first before you get that diagnosis of diabetes. Fast first before you get that gastric bypass surgery. Fast first before you get heart disease or get diagnosed with heart disease. You need to fast first because you want to fast to bring that insulin level down so you can become more sensitive to insulin. Now, I'm going to have another video that's going to be more technical and it's going to have a little bit more detail. But I just wanted to come to you guys and kick it with you just off top. Like, I'm passionate about this. And this is something that, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop for myself and I'm not going to stop for y'all. I love y'all, man. Keep up.